Alright, in this video I'm going to go over a couple examples showing you how to do long division of whole numbers. So the first problem I am going to attack here is 11,544 divided by 12. I'm going to show you how to solve this in several ways, both representing with the area model and then also with partial quotients, kind of using a ratio table and also like more of a standard division model. Alright, so we're going to start here with the representation model, or the area model, and solve this problem there. So as I look at this, and I look at this 11,544, and I set up my area model with 10 and 2 for 12, thinking like, what times 10 would give me close to this? And my first thought is 10,000, right? So I could put like, I'd want to get to 10,000. That's pretty close. So that means like up here, I would put 1,000. And 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. So then I think, what's 1,000 times 2? Well, that would be 2,000. But I realized like, oh, that's going to end up being higher than this. So like that itself won't work. Then we have to go back and kind of rethink ourselves there. So that would be kind of too big, and you want to rethink that. But say I think like, oh, well, the 10 was too big, so what if we're like, okay, it goes in maybe like 9,000, so that would be 900, and then 900 times 2 is 1,800. Adding these two up, you get 10,800, so, 9 plus 1, so 1, 8, 10, there. 10,800 would be where we're at, and that's still lower than my ultimate quotient here, so I think I'm still good. And then I want to kind of think, what are the other place values that I need to get up to 11,000? So probably need to go another 700. So I got to kind of think over here what I might put. So I'm thinking like 700 would get me to 11,500, and I could get that here by multiplying by 70. So 70 times 10 would be 700, 70 times 2 would be 140, but then I look at 700 plus 140, that would be 840, that would be too much. So I want to go back and rethink this, and maybe I think along the lines of like 60. 60 times 10 would be 600, and 60 times 2 would be 120. So you can add these up, 720, then I might want to add these up. When I add those up, I get 11,520, so now I know I'm exactly 24 away. And I'm thinking 10 and 2, oh wait, that's 12. 12 times 2 is 24, so I know that I can do 2 times 10 is 20, 2 times 2 is 4, that'll be 24. I get to my whole in here. If I add all these numbers up, I end up with my dividend. So this is my divisor, which means adding these up would be my quotient, so it's 962. Ends up being my quotient here. So now say using the partial quotient method, we're looking at 11,544, and we want to get there by multiplying numbers by 12. So say I do 100, right? I'm going to say 100 times 12 would be 1,200, and so I'm working my way up to that. 1,200 doesn't get me that close, but I can always kind of think back to my already thinking, which was 900, I know kind of works, so knowing that worked, so I'm thinking 100, well, I guess I could do another 800, and that would be 8 times 12, which would be 9,600 or 9,600, and I want to kind of keep track over here. Adding these two together would be, oops, let's write this down here, would be 10,800. So that's where I'm at here, and I put it in 900 times, and then I think, okay, I need to get it in more. So I'm trying to think like, how many more times could I fit this in? I know 100 would give me 1,200. That'd be too much. So maybe I try 10 more times. 10 times 12 is 120. That would be pretty good, getting me closer. So I just continue my way down through that. So I went through and went ahead and like solved the rest. So I did 10 times 120, 10 times 120, that's 240. I added it in to get 11,200. I added 240 in to get 11,040. I could add in more, so I did 20 this time because it's 10 plus 10. 20 times 12 is 240. And I added that into the 11,040 again. And then I did it again, and I got it up with 11,520. I did it in 2 more times to give me 24 more, 11,544. So I got my whole dividend here. Now all I would have to do is add up all of the numbers that I divided into, which, if you add up, give you a quotient of 962. So we kind of use this ratio table to figure out the quotient again of the same problem. Now I'm going to go back to more of a standard type division you might see, but it's going to look more like this ratio table though. So based on what I already know, I know that like I can take 12, and over here I'm going to kind of write the steps I take. I know I can put it in 900 times, right? And that's 10,800. So the next thing I did is I did 12 goes into, I subtracted, and I got 744. I knew 12 times 12 was 144, which I was able to multiply by 12, subtract, and I had 600 left. And then I know 12 times 5 is 60, so 12 times 50 would be 600. So that allows me to subtract 600, end up with 0 left, and then I just add up 900 plus 12 plus 50, and I end up with my quotient of 962, the same that I got in the original 2 ways of figuring out. So ultimately coming back to the original example, and I think I'll leave this at just one example here. 11,544 divided by 12 equals 962. And we just solved this in 3 different ways, long division of whole numbers.